Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About, the show where I ramble on about various video game topics. And today's subject is Ashes of Ariandel, the upcoming DLC expansion for Dark Souls 3. Now, the trailer that dropped earlier this week was a really great surprise for me. I knew the DLC expansions were on the way, but I had no idea they would be coming within the next month or so that was really great to be finding that out. Now, this is the first of two planned expansions for the base game of Dark Souls 3, and I have to say, this first expansion looks absolutely fantastic. As any longtime fan of the series can probably guess, it looks like the location for this expansion is going to be the Painted World of Ariamis, or at least related to the Painted World. And that's really great, because the Painted World was actually always one of my favorite areas in the series, so it's really cool that we'll finally be able to return to it. It'll be interesting to see how the Painted World ties into the lore of the third game. I know a lot of fans are speculating that maybe we'll finally find out what happened to Guinevere and Velka, possibly. I would love to see Velka, actually. For those of you who aren't overly familiar with the Dark Souls lore, Velka is the goddess of sin, and she has actually never made a physical appearance in the series, but she has been manipulating events, or at least pulling some strings from the shadows, because she's been in every single one of the games, and has kind of had a presence, so to speak, but as I said, she's never been physically involved. So if we finally get to meet the crow goddess Velka, that would be awesome, because a lot of her followers were in the Painted World in the first Dark Souls, so I'm anxious to see if they make their return here. And maybe we'll learn more about them and what caused them to become crow people like Ornifex from Dark Souls 2, because she made some allusions to her people in that game as well. And another reason I'm really excited for Ashes of Ariandel is that, again, the Painted World was one of the snowy winter environments of the game, and I've always loved, really great snow and ice places in RPGs and just video games in general. The Painted World was one of my favorite areas in the first Dark Souls. The Crown of the Ivory King, Aleum Lois, that city was one of my favorite locations in that entire game as well. So I've always really liked snowy environments, and again, I also like the Boreal Valley in Dark Souls 3. So I'm really excited to have a really great winter snowstorm, another great environment like that to explore. That'll be lots of fun. And it looks like a lot of the enemy designs in this trailer are really great too. We got some of the good old dog packs that'll probably mess you up real good. Got some Nordic-looking enemies. And as I said, we get a glimpse at some of the boss fights here, and some of why I'm thinking we'll meet Velka, and other people have been saying that we might meet her, is some of the characters we see, like this. It looks like a boss character, all in black, feathery garments, so who knows, maybe that actually could be Velka. That'd be a very big surprise. And the woman Ariandel, some are theorizing, might be the daughter or successor of Ariamis, who created the original Painted World in the first Dark Souls. So it'll be interesting to maybe learn more about the magic behind the Painted World, and how they were able to essentially create this separate world that's not tied exactly to the world that Dark Souls takes place in. We got some fancy looking pyromancies, or at least I think it's a pyromancy, and a new ice spell, as well as some possibly dark swords you can get enchanted with black flame. I always love finding more about the lore, so as I said before, we might possibly see important characters like Guinevere, Velka, and maybe even Priscilla. If Priscilla is still in the Painted World, that would be a great surprise. Fans have theorized that Yorshka, who is in the main game of Dark Souls 3, is actually somehow either related to Priscilla or is actually Priscilla herself. I don't know if I believe that. I think that Priscilla is still out there somewhere, especially based on the Life Hunt Scythe miracle that you get from Aldrich, the Devourer's soul. It suggests that through devouring the gods, he learned of Priscilla's presence out there in the Painted World, but couldn't quite get to her. So it'll be interesting to see if we can finally meet up with Priscilla again. So I'm really excited for Ashes of Ariandel. I always love the expansions to Dark Souls ever since Artorias of the Abyss came out for the original Dark Souls. It kind of set the bar for what to expect from these expansions from Software. So thank you for listening to my impressions of the Ashes of Ariandel trailer. The expansion drops late October, and I'm very eager to check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. No word yet on when the second expansion's coming out, but when that's announced, I might do another video talking about that trailer as well. But in the meantime, thank you again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed some of the thoughts I had on it, and there's other great channels out there that talk even more in depth about the lore going into that might be part of this expansion pack. So if you want to check those channels out, I'll put them in the description down below. And until next time, keep having great adventures, everyone.